Yeah. Ha. Hey, good evening, guys. This episode tonight is going to be about my journey so far. I figured if I was going to give anybody any kind of advice on what they should do at any point in time, I should tell you what I've done so far. So let's just run through this real quick. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to break it down into two different timelines. You got work and you got school. The first one we're going to do is school. So school, at school at about 17, I dropped out of regular high school, went to a charter school, fast tracked through a year and a half of high school in about 3 months. Then I went to community college and I fucked around for about a year and a half. And then I just kind of took a break for a second and I recouped myself, and I figured that that's not what I wanted to do. So I decided to find a way to finish school, to finish college fast. And at this point in time, I probably had a year's worth of credits, or no, not a year, half a year's worth of credits. And so then I went to an online college and I enrolled in a Bachelors of Science Business Management degree, and I finished 3.5 years of college in about 6.5 months and graduated in 2018 with my Bachelor's of Business Management from Western Governors University. That was a cool accomplishment. I was 20 years old when I graduated from college. That was really cool. I got to have my graduation in Vegas, and it was really fun. That's a whole other story. Yeah, so it's possible to do that. Oh, and recently I have started the journey to try to obtain my PMP, my project management certification. You might have heard about it a couple times in my videos. This is one of the most esteemed certifications in the world for a project manager. It's one of the most difficult standardized tests in the world, maybe America, I'm not sure which one of those, but only about 1 million people in the whole world actually hold a PMP currently. And I take my test on Monday, so that's exciting. Been studying a lot, ready to go. So hopefully on Monday I will be a PMP certified Bachelors of Business Management. Wow, that sounds cool. So now, next timeline for work. When I was 16, started working at Chipotle. When I worked at Chipotle, I started as a grill guy, then worked as a prep guy. Then shortly after that, within a year, at the age of 16, I became a kitchen manager in charge of opening the store, doing the food orders, doing the inventory, and then running the kitchen for the beginning shift. Then before a year after that, I got promoted to service manager, and that's where you're in charge of front of house, hiring, firing, customer service, food presentation, all of those good things. And then when I was 18, actually it was crazy. So the day that I came home, about almost 3 years into Chipotle, I came home, and it was the first day that I'd ever come home and said, fuck Chipotle, I'm done with Chipotle, don't want to work at Chipotle anymore. And little did I know, it's bonkers. A couple hours later, actually, my old football coach calls me up, and he happened to own a lighting company that he had since sold and then worked out a deal to where he was management. And he called me and asked me if I wanted to be an assistant project manager. Of course, I said yes. A month later, I was working for him. Then I'm an assistant project manager. Within 10 months of being an assistant project manager, I got promoted to project manager. Then before a year passes, I was invited to start working as a project manager on representatives of lighting projects that were taking place in California and Arizona while working in Dallas, Texas. then after I did that for a couple months and I proved that I was very capable of doing so, they actually invited me the opportunity of moving out to the California branch that was really close to LA. They sent me out there on a week-long visit to see if I wanted to move out there. Said yes, came back. They offered me not enough money, so I said no. A couple weeks later, they said, hey, what about Phoenix, Arizona for this amount? And I was like, yes, absolutely. That sounds great. 4 months later, bam, found myself in Phoenix, Arizona. Now I'm living in Phoenix, Arizona as a project manager here. And shortly after that, they dissolved the entire Arizona branch, and I undertake the responsibilities of another project manager, doubling my workload, receive a raise. Then a few months later, then at that point in time, I also started working remotely from my home office. Then after a couple months of working at home, they dissolved the California branch, and when they dissolved the California branch, I undertook another project manager's responsibilities, doubling the workload again. And so actually that's where I'm at right now. Currently I'm trying to dabble in a few other areas. I plan on being a diversified Renaissance man. I can't think of any other way to increase my chances better to make it to where I would like to get. So that's how I'm going to do it. And it would be really cool if you guys can join me on that. Watch me. Tune in. This is the Byrd King Chronicles. I will be here every single day. So if you got any questions, let me know. Always, please like and subscribe. I will be here. Byrd King out. You guys have a good night.
Formidable pinnacle, spitting that critical, cryptical, visual, hitting original, far from traditional, maybe subliminal, down to a minimal. Find it divine when I'm rhyming, combining the syllables, flipping the pen like I'm flipping reciprocals. Admitted I'm irresistible, far from the typical, so I'm a mystical, rhythmical, really a mythical, lyrical miracle. I rip my shit like a ritual, circle the track like I'm working elliptical, siphon and siphon till ain't no residuals. I do this shit, it's habitual.